Welcome to CIS 101. Like I promised in the previous video, I said I'm going to make a short introductory video that will walk you through how to go about registering for MyLab and also hopefully walk you through how to go about taking your assignments. Most of your assignments are going to be on MyLab, but there are some that are going to be on Blackboard. So when you log on to Blackboard, this is the landing page and you have your announcement here, and the number of hours is designated, and I'm saying it's 7 hours. For some of you it might be more, for some of you it might be less, so take that into consideration as you plan for your other classes and also your other life activities. So under the contact, I have my information here, phone number, a little bit of my background, so by now I should be familiar with that. Under the syllabus and course information, syllabus is right here, information about the number of hours, and then we have this folder that talks about my IT lab information. So this is the information that you need for you to either access my IT lab or register if this is the first time that you're using this software. So this is the web link, and this is the name of the class, and this is the course ID. So some of you might have gone directly to my IT lab or my Pearson and they ask for the course ID. So I'll walk you through how to go about doing this. So to start with, you can right click here and say open in new tab, or you can just click on the link. It's an active link and it brings you here. Click on that link also and you come to this page. So this is the page that you need to be able to register for my IT lab. If you have used my IT lab before, then you have an account, you just click sign in. If you're not very sure, if you have forgotten your password or your username, you can just click on forgotten username and password and they will walk you through how to go about doing that. So for instance, if I've forgotten that, you just click on that link and it will bring you to this web page here, and it tells you if you forgot username and password and you remember the email, just enter the email and then send it, and they'll send you a link and you can use that link to help you remember your password or probably reset the password. So this is for those who have used my IT lab before. If you're taking this class again, I think they give you like 1 year, so you still, if you took the class maybe 6 months ago, you still might have an account that you can use for this class. Also, sometimes they bundle the services, so if you're taking another class that uses my IT lab, you might be able to use that account. Okay, so that's the part on how to sign in if you've done this before. If this is the first time that you're doing this, so you'll need to register. And to do that, you'll click on here is your student, click on the student link, and you'll be brought to this page here. So you need at least 3 things before you're able to register. You need to have an email address. So this is the email that you're going to be using to log on. And also if I'm communicating with you using my IT lab, this is the email I'm going to be using. So any communication is going to be going to that email. I'll prefer that you use the SPS Q&A email to make sure that you're getting the information, you're not missing anything. But you're welcome to use any other email that you're comfortable with. Okay, your instructor's course ID. So I showed you how to get that and I'll walk you through that. And an access code. If you already bought the book, sometimes they'll come with an access code or a credit card, or you can also pay through PayPal. So once you're done with that, then you're comfortable that you have those 3 items. Now you don't necessarily need to have a credit card at this moment because there's a grace period. There is a way you can get an account for 14 days without paying for it if you're waiting for your financial aid or something like that, and I'll show you how to do that. So click here to register. If you're in Australia, then you can follow that at the link, and you're brought to this page. So you'll need these 3 things to get started: the course ID or program ID from your instructor, your email address, and access code, credit card, or PayPal. So the access code will come with your book. If you bought a hard copy or even sometimes soft copy, it will have an access code. So you have to be very careful if you're buying the book online. Make sure that they give you an access code that is active, because sometimes I've had students who have bought a book online and then they get an access code that has already been used. So be careful where you're getting your resources from. Okay, so enter your course ID or program ID, and how you get this course ID is if you come back to our home page on Blackboard. I'm gonna go really quick because I logged out. That's why I'm going through here, and I think we started from here. My IT lab information. Okay, so remember, you get this through the syllabus and course information, my IT lab. So this is the course ID. So what you can do is you can copy this information. Just highlight, right click, and then click copy, and then come back to your page. Where were we? Right here. Okay, and then you enter. Just click, right click, and then you paste, and you have that. And then you click continue. So once you do that, the system will go in and pull up your course and tells you this is your course. So just make sure that you verify, because we have different sections and sometimes stuff happens. You might not be in the right section. So make sure that your instructor, and that's when the course ends. It doesn't necessarily end on December 31st. We'll finish before that, but that's how we have set it up. So that's the name of the course. Okay. So sign in with your Pearson account. If you already have a Pearson account, you just come in here, you say username and password. And if you've forgot username and password, just click this link, and then they'll ask you for your email, and they'll help you reset it. If you can't even remember your email, sometimes they have a phone number that you can call, and they might walk you through that. Okay, so if you have not used this before and you're not sure, you can actually click here. Not sure if you have had an account, you can click on here, and they tell you if you have used any of the following Pearson products, you have an account, all these. So these are all some of the classes that actually require you to have a Pearson account. Okay, or you can look them up, and then you click on that link and you provide some information, your email, send them, and then they'll be able to tell you whether actually you have one, so you don't have to register for another one. Okay, if not, you need to create one. So you click on create, and you're going to provide your email, your username and password, re-enter the password, the first name, last name, then you have security question, and then the answer to that. So email, like I mentioned, is an email that we're going to be using to communicate. So use an email that you check regularly. And then the same thing with the username. Password is always good to use like a phrase. This thing will end 2020, or, phrase passwords are actually much more stronger. Okay. And then you have re-enter the password to make sure it's correct. And you can always combine symbols or something like that to harden your password. Okay, so once you do that, then you'll be brought to this page. When you finish populating that information and you click submit and you agree to all their terms, make sure that you read. We agree to a lot of things that we don't even know what we are agreeing to. That's what I mean by here, terms of use and privacy policy. Okay, I don't know how to read this stuff, but it's good sometimes to have a glance of what's going on. You might be selling your information. But anyhow, so you come to this page here and use an access code. So if you have an access code, if you got from the book, you click here and then you enter that access code. If not, then you're going to be buying. Okay, MyLab and Office. So you're going to get an e-text, which is the cost textbook, and it comes with access to MyLab. That's $99. That's why you need a credit card or PayPal. So you click on that and then you provide the information. If not, you can get a temporary access for 14 days. Okay, so if you're waiting for financial aid or for your payment or something like that, just click on here and you'll be directed to this page, and then they ask you, are you sure you want temporary access for this class? You say yes. If no, you go back. If you click on yes, then something, your session has expired, please sign in again, blah blah blah. So I've been out here for quite some time, that's why it's telling me it has expired. But if you're doing this for the first time and you're walking through quickly, you should not have that problem. Okay, so just continue, create, provide that information, and then you should be able to get your access code. So once you pay and you either have the 14 days or use a credit card, you'll be given access to MyLab and you have a username and password. So now what you'll do is you'll go back to your class, and every time that you want to access the resources, you'll just go to MyLab and you sign in, and you should be able to access the course. So that's where we are. Give me 1 minute. I want to see whether I can go back here to my Blackboard. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. Okay, so now what happens? So when it's time for you to do the assignments, you'll come to the weekly assignments, and I think we start the MyLab assignments on week 2. So these are the assignments, and you'll click on this link here, MyLab and Mastering Course. So that's, I said some of the assignments are on MyLab and some are going to be excuse me, on Blackboard. These are the ones that are going to be done through the Blackboard, but you still need the course textbook to access them. So you click on this link here, and this link will take you, so they'll ask you for your username and password. And if you link them with the Blackboard, you should not be able to do, they should not be asking you for that information all the time. So you'll come to this page. So this is now MyLab All IT. They used to call it My IT Lab, and now they call it MyLab IT. And anytime that you see a flag, it means that the assignments that have been set. So what I've done is I've actually activated the assignments for the second week so that I can walk you through how to go about working on these assignments. So if you click right here on the 2 and 4th, it shows you the assignments that you should be working on. So this assignment scheduled for age 24 and they are due on the 9th. Okay, so today is 19. There's nothing that is active there. So from the 24th is when you should be able to start working on the assignment. Now, if you want to start working on the assignment, you don't have to wait until the due date. So you click on the assignment that you want to work with, and you don't have to follow the list. You can do them in whichever order you feel comfortable, but it's always good to do them in the order in which they are specified because the knowledge builds from the previous items that you learn. So if you go to the 31st, that's for chapter 2 and on like that. So let me walk you through the ones for the second week. So this is the hands-on PowerPoint exercise, the simulation training. And it tells me that you're not going to be able to do anything here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this and make them available a little bit earlier because now I have the student view here, and as a student, you won't be able to do it. So okay, now you can see the flag has actually shifted to the 19th because that's when the assignments become available. So you might have some opportunity to start this assignment a little bit earlier. But basically what you'll do is you'll click on the link here, and then that will open up the assignment for you. And the way the assignment is set up is it opens in an interface that resembles your desktop. So this is actually how a desktop looks like. And if you see here, you have a taskbar, you have some folders, you have Internet Explorer, and you have some icons here. So this is a typical desktop of a computer. Now, the assignments are going to be structured in such a way that you have the instructions either on the right side here, sometimes on top, sometimes at the bottom here, depending on the configuration of your computer. So right here you have start. So 1.0, this is the first assignment. It says start PowerPoint 2016, and the instructions are given here. So it says open. This is the name of the file located in the documents folder, read all that. Okay, so that's the whole instruction. And you have, these are only 3 questions. This first part of this assignment has only 3 parts. So that's why I said, although you see like there's very many assignments, some of them are very short and you can finish them just like that. So you have 5 attempts per each of this question. So you have 5 attempts, and we have some tools that you can use here to help you to attempt the assignment. So for instance, in this first part, it's telling us to open this file here located in the documents folder. View the first slide as a slideshow, press the space bar once to navigate to the next slide, press the right arrow key, blah, 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 like that. So if you don't have an idea what's going on here, you have some tools down here. Okay, so if you look down here, we have what you're calling the learning aids. And these learning aids, we have 3 of them. You can read the instructions. So anytime that you click on read the instructions, the system is going to take you to the section of the book where those instructions are located, and then you can read. So there are going to be some times when you might need to maybe read to get a better understanding on a deeper grasp of the concept. So if you click on read the instructions, it's going to open, and make sure that you enable pop-up on your computer. That's very, very important. Enable pop-up on your computer. So that's going to take you to the part of the book where the assignment is taken, and for my computer it's taking a little bit longer, and that's why I'm actually running over the 15 minutes that I said, so I apologize for that. So I thought it was going to open a little bit faster. So we have that. Then you have the watch the video. You can also watch the video, and anytime you click on watch the video, the computer is going to give you this short window here with the video embedded in it. And if you click
in the Windows 10 desktop, click the Start button. On the Start menu, click All Apps. Scroll down and click PowerPoint 2016. In PowerPoint Startup menu, click Open Other Presentations. Click Browse to open the Open dialog box. In the Documents folder, click the P01H1 intro file. Click Open. On the status bar, click Slideshow.
and on like that. So that is found under the watch. Now under the practice, it actually walks you through the process whereby it asks you to do
Windows
something.
10 desktop, click the Start button.
So you have to do that. You have to click. You click, then the next one.
On the Start menu, click All Apps.
You have to click on all apps.
Scroll down and click PowerPoint 2016.
Okay, so that's practice. That part is finished. Now you have to do it. Okay, so remember they walked us through that. So now if you want to do this, you have not wasted your attempt. You still have 5 attempts. Now you can come back and now complete the assignment. So they said click here and then all apps and then scroll down until you get to Windows and I'm sorry, PowerPoint. Do I see PowerPoint somewhere? Right here. Click on that, and then you see what happens is now this is what you should be doing. It becomes more bold. So this is the file that we are looking for. Okay, so other presentation, and then you are told you can either click browse or you can click on it like that. Now you see you clicked on it directly here, so it gives you incorrect, and then it took 2 of your attempts. So you have to be very, very careful. It's a very unforgiving system. Okay, and this sometimes is very frustrating to the students. So you have to make sure that you're following the instructions exactly the way they are. Now, when you're working outside of this software, you might be able to do some things much faster and using other techniques. But for this software, it has been programmed to accept input in a certain way. So be careful about that. So you have to click on browse, like the instructions while. Okay, although we see the file there, we don't go for it. Okay, and then you click on that file and then click open. So you follow the instructions exactly. And that's what you need to do when you try something maybe 2 times and you're not getting the answer. Don't get frustrated. Go back to the learning aid and watch or practice. Okay, so now everything else becomes bolder because that means now we are in this step. So view the first slide as a slideshow, press the space bar, blah, 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 like that. Okay, so to view, you click there, and then you have that. So you have to view the first as a slideshow and on like that. Okay, so that's how you go about working on the assignments. Okay, and then once you finish, this first part here is going to move you to the next question. Okay, so let's say press the right arrow key to continue to slide 3. So we have the arrow keys here, and the slides should have some numbers so that at least you know where you are. And what happens and end the show. Okay, so we're just navigating all the way to the end until we finish. Okay, so we finished that part. Okay, and you see it tells you the question is complete. So make sure you complete that, and then it moves you to now question number 2. Okay, question number 2, you have 5 attempts. Now everything that is in blue is what is going to be expected for you. Display slide 6 and add a new speaker note, all the way like that. If you're not sure what is happening, remember you have your assistance down here. Okay, you can watch the video and the same process. It's going to show you how to add speaker notes and on like that. So once you finish those 3, you submit. If you don't finish, you can actually save and then come back later on. When you log on, you'll continue from where you stopped. So that's how you go about working on all the assignments. Okay, so you finish that, and then you can come pick another one. So it tells me this is in progress because I did not finish. Once you finish, you'll get credit for it. And you can come back here, pick this one, and do the same thing. So in short, that's how you go about working on your assignments. When you finish, then you go back to Blackboard. So this is all the simulation for week 2, and then you work on this project, and then you go to the next week. So weekly working workload, weekly assignments, and then you'll go to week 3, and then you start working on PowerPoint chapter 2. So these assignments are going to be available, and some of them you might have some slides that you might want to watch and some files that you might have to access. But for now, that's how you go about working on your assignments. Keep in touch, and I hope this helps.